absolutely delighted to have you here today. I've had to listen to you for 24 years and learnt masses, seriously, David. And you've been kind enough to say that you're happy to speak about two of our sort of key areas for an SME builder, one land and one funding. And I'm literally going to hand over to Henry Wakefield to ask you our first question on that.
Thanks, David. Question from me around, you've got extensive experience across the industry, both from a national and a regional house builder perspective. Taking that into account, is there any learnings that you'd take from a national into a regional and vice versa that they could learn from one another? And probably what would be the key learnings going both ways there, in your opinion? Thanks.
Yeah. So recently, we had a situation where we were looking at these list of exchanges of contracts that weren't coming through very fast on a few plots. And there was a particular example where it mentioned that solicitors had written to the local authority to get a copy of the Section 106 agreement. This is a planning agreement. And I sort of blew up and said, this is absolutely ridiculous, because, all of those documents, I would expect a solicitor, the day we have a reservation, those documents which are necessary for a purchaser's solicitor to have, they should be sent off within 24 hours. You have to monitor carefully how competent and how quickly these exchanges are taking place, because it's those efficiencies, I believe, and that administration detail that you can bring from a PLC to an SME.
Thank you, David. I'm now going to move on to Rebecca De Silva.
Thank you, David. So what are the key obstacles which regional house builders face in gaining funding?
The obstacles are in the SME's own making. And for me, it's making sure that they have, in identifying the land, that they have the right product in the right place, that they've chosen land which is location, location, location. So if they've got those ingredients right, and they've got the right product in the right site, and above all, that their site appraisal, both from a technical aspect, and services, engineering, drainage, and from a cost perspective. So I think those obstacles are, it's within their gift, making sure they have the right competency within their management. And also they have to have some financial stability and funds to actually put into a scheme. Otherwise they are going to fail.
Thank you, David. And the third question, Nick Whitaker.
Hi, David. Question I'd like to understand is a bit about good and bad land. So what makes land viable to build on? So if you're looking at land, what makes you decide whether it's a good purchase or not?
Okay. So as I just mentioned, for me, the first thing is location, location. There's not much point going to the back streets of a town and thinking that you're going to build 4-bedroom detached houses there. So it's the right land in the right place. You've got to do your market research to establish that that's a place that people would want to live, that it's attractive, it's near all the facilities, it's near amenities, it's near transport. So once you've identified that, then you have to investigate the land itself. And by that I mean actually digging holes in the ground and doing your investigations as to what may have been there previously. So is it brownfield land? Could a factory have been there? Could an old building have been there? When we talk about land viability, we're talking about assessing a parcel of land, what we can build on it, what our revenues are going to be, what our total costs are likely to be, what profit margin we want to take from the land, taking all the factors of sales rate into account, how quickly we're going to build, how fast we could build it possibly if the sales are going to be good. So over that period of time, and measuring the cash flow requirements, you then come to your residual land value. And that's the difficulty. You price today for your revenue and you price today for your costs. Yes, you build in some contingency for costs, but of course revenue is always that much greater than materials and labour. So 5% on your revenue is always going to give you more than 5% on your materials when you're looking at a residual land price bid.
David, thank you. I think on behalf of everybody here, could we show our appreciation? Thank you, David. Thank you. Well done.